It's funny. Sometimes the biggest, most powerful stories are tucked away in the most unexpected places. And today, we're going to do just that. We're going to crack open this single super cryptic prophecy, I'm talking almost 500 years old, and what we're going to find inside is this timeless tale about power, regret, and, well, the devastating cost of one single mistake.
So, here it is, Century 1, Quatrain 36, straight from Nostradamus himself. Now, when you look at it in the original 16th century French, it's dense, right? It's mysterious. It really feels like a puzzle we're meant to solve. You're probably already asking, who's this monarch? Who's the enemy he didn't take out? That's the exact enigma we're diving into together.
So, first things first, with any ancient text like this, the very first step is getting a clear, accurate translation. Think of it as the key that's going to unlock the meaning hidden inside. So, let's turn that key.
Okay, check this out. The moment we put it into modern English, it's like the fog just starts to clear. Here's what it says. Too late, the monarch will repent for not having put his enemy to death, but will soon come to higher consent that all his blood will be undone by death. Wow! All of a sudden, this isn't just some cryptic verse anymore, is it? It's starting to sound like a really tragic story.
All right, now that we have our translation, we can really start to pick this thing apart, line by line. And you're about to see that each verse isn't just some random prediction. No, it's a step in a really carefully constructed and pretty tragic narrative.
Just look at how this story builds. It's brilliant. First up, step 1, the regret. So the story actually starts at the end, with this monarch just filled with remorse. Then, step 2, we get the mistake. This is why he's so full of regret. He failed to get rid of a threat. Then comes step 3, the realization, where the monarch has to accept this awful truth. And then, bam, step 4, the consequence. The final devastating result of that one little mistake is the total destruction of his entire family line. It's literally a perfect 4-act tragedy packed into just 4 lines. Incredible.
So, when you put all 4 of those pieces together, this complete picture just snaps into focus. See, this isn't some vague, hazy prediction. It's a totally self-contained story about a leader's catastrophic failure to act when it mattered most.
The narrative is crystal clear. You've got a monarch who gets a shot at taking out an adversary, but they don't do it. Maybe it was mercy, maybe a political calculation, or maybe just plain old hesitation. Whatever it was, that single moment of inaction leads to this deep, bitter regret. Because the ultimate price isn't just his own downfall, it's the end of his entire family line. It's a really stark tale of how one moment of indecision can cause a whole dynasty to collapse.
So you might be thinking, okay, but why should we care about a 500-year-old story? Well, here's why. If you look past all the talk of monarchs and ancient enemies, you find this incredibly powerful, universal warning about the very real danger of doing nothing.
And this gets us to the absolute core concept of this whole prophecy. Let's call it fatal hesitation. It's that precise moment when a failure to act decisively against a threat you know is there seals a tragic fate. And it leads not just to your own ruin, but to the destruction of everything you've built.
And really, that's the big takeaway here. It doesn't matter if you're a king sitting on a throne or a leader sitting in an office. The message is exactly the same. When you're facing a critical threat, indecision becomes a decision in itself, and it can have consequences that are totally irreversible and absolutely catastrophic.
And that kind of leaves us with a really tough question, doesn't it? One that is just as relevant today as it was in Nostradamus' time. We're always told to be patient, right? To think things through carefully. But this prophecy forces us to ask, at what point does that calculated patience cross the line and become a fatal mistake? Definitely something to think about.